The Steffi Graf Stadium in Berlin. June 20, 2026. The grass is wet from a 4-hour rain delay. The crowd is restless, having waited through the storm. And a 21-year-old from Quezon City walks onto the court for the biggest match of her life. She has already done the impossible. She has beaten Donna Vekić, the Queen's Club champion. She has stunned Elena Rybakina, the world number 2, the Wimbledon champion. She has dismantled Elina Svitolina, the world number 8, the former world number 3, the player she watched on television as a child. 3 top 20 wins in 4 days. A run that has captured the imagination of the entire tennis world. A run that has made Alexandra Eala the biggest story in the sport, but now, standing across the net, is Linda Noskova, the world number 13. The player who had beaten Eala 6-2, 6-0 at Indian Wells earlier this year. A player whose explosive serve and ruthless attack had left the Filipina with no answers. The tennis world held its breath. Could the fairy tale continue? Could Eala do the unthinkable one more time? The answer would come swiftly. And it would be brutal. What happened on that court was not just a loss. It was a lesson. A reminder that greatness is not built in a single tournament. A reminder that even the most magical runs must come to an end. But here is the truth that the tennis world cannot ignore. In defeat, Alexandra Eala did not diminish. She ascended. She proved that she belonged. She proved that she could compete with the best in the world. And she proved that this was not the end of her story. This is the story of that night. This is the story of how a dream ended, and a superstar was born. Let's begin. To understand why Alexandra Eala's semifinal loss was not a failure, but a triumph, you have to understand the magnitude of what she accomplished in the 4 days that preceded it. Eala arrived in Berlin ranked 35th in the world, a wild-card entrant who had no business being in the same draw as the sports elite. But she had momentum. Just days earlier, she had won her second WTA 125 title at Birmingham, a hard-fought victory that had added 76 crucial points to her total. She was playing with a confidence that had been forged through months of victories, through beating Grand Slam champions, through proving to the world that she belonged. Her first opponent was Donna Vekić. The Croatian veteran had just won the biggest title of her career at Queen's Club. She was confident. She was hungry. And she was looking for revenge. Eala won 7-5, 6-4, recovering from 0-40 in the final game to seal the victory. Her second opponent was Elena Rybakina, the world number 2, the Wimbledon champion. A player who had beaten Eala in straight sets just weeks earlier at the Italian Open. The tennis world expected a routine victory for the world number 2. Eala won 7-5, 6-4. Her third opponent was Elina Svitolina, the world number 8, the former world number 3. A player who had won 20 WTA titles, who had spent over 300 weeks in the top 20. The tennis world expected the fairy tale to end here. Eala won 6-3, 6-4. Victories. 3 top 20 opponents. 2 of them top 10. All in straight sets. It was the kind of run that defines careers. The kind of run that makes legends. Eala had become the first Filipino to reach the semifinals of a WTA 500 event. She had proven that her Miami run was no fluke. She had proven that she could compete with the best players in the world on any surface. And she had done it all with grace, humility, and an unshakable belief in herself. "I can't believe it," she said after beating Svitolina. "I'm in shock right now," but the shock was only beginning. Because waiting for her in the semifinals was a player who had already beaten her once before. A player who would prove to be her toughest challenge yet. The semifinal was scheduled for Saturday, June 20th. But the rain had other plans. A 4-hour weather delay kept the players waiting, the tension building with every passing minute. When the match finally began, it was clear that Linda Noskova had come to play. The Czech star, ranked 13th in the world, unleashed a relentless barrage of power serves, punishing ground strokes and daring net attacks that Eala simply could not neutralize. From the opening exchanges, Noskova imposed her will on the match, repeatedly backing Eala behind the baseline with booming serves before finishing points with clinical precision. The opening set was marked by a flurry of early breaks, with Noskova gaining the upper hand after securing 2 breaks of serve compared to Eala's 1. The world number 13's serve proved to be the decisive weapon. She fired 5 aces to Eala's 1 and consistently won free points behind her delivery, reflected in her dominant 15-5 advantage in first serve points won. Noskova earned her 3rd break of the set in the 7th game and rode the momentum to claim the final 3 games, taking the opener in commanding fashion. 6-2. The second set followed a familiar script. After the players traded holds early, Noskova elevated her level once more, securing a crucial break and backing it up with another dominant service game to open a 3-1 advantage. But Eala refused to go quietly, trailing 2-3 in the second set. The Filipina dug deep and mounted her strongest resistance of the match. She battled through a tense 6th game to force multiple deuces before capitalizing on a series of Noskova miscues to secure a crucial break and level the score. Buoyed by the breakthrough, Eala held serve in the next game to move ahead 4-3, igniting hopes of a stirring comeback. The hope, however, was short-lived. Noskova responded with the poise and firepower that had carried her throughout the tournament. She rattled off a love hold to even the set at 4-4 before immediately breaking Eala at love to reclaim control. The Filipina left-hander, who had her left arm taped above the elbow during the previous changeover, struggled to land her first serves, allowing Noskova to unleash a barrage of aggressive returns. Serving for the match, Noskova showed no signs of letting up. She opened with a crushing forehand put away off a booming serve, then erased a double fault with a timely ace. Another blistering forehand winner brought up match point, and moments later she sealed the victory in fitting fashion, charging the net and finishing with a crisp serve and volley winner. 6-2, 6-4. The dream was over. The statistics from the semifinal told a story of domination. Noskova finished with a commanding 17-8 edge in return points won, a stark contrast to Eala's victories over Rybakina and Svitolina, where the Filipina consistently controlled the return exchanges. Noskova's explosive serve produced 9 aces and countless short returns that allowed her to dictate play from the first ball. Every time Eala found a way to put the ball back in play, Noskova seemed to have an answer, whether a crushing forehand winner, a sharply angled cross-court shot, or an aggressive charge to the net. The victory, completed in just 76 minutes after the lengthy rain delay, underscored Noskova's growing reputation as one of the tour's most dangerous grass-court players. For Noskova, the result was strikingly similar to her dominant 55-minute 6-2, 6-0 victory over Eala at Indian Wells earlier this year. But while Eala had lost, she had also won something far more valuable. The semifinal finish secured roughly €57,395, approximately P4 million, in prize money. She also earned 195 WTA ranking points for her run to the semifinals. Having started the tournament as the world number 35, Eala climbed to 30th in the live WTA rankings after increasing her points total to 1,557. This put her just one place below her career-high ranking position of 29th. The tangible rewards were significant. But the intangible rewards were even greater. Eala had proven that she could compete with the best players in the world. She had proven that her Miami run was no fluke. She had proven that she belonged among the elite. And in doing so, she had announced to the tennis world that a new superstar had arrived. The loss to Noskova was not a failure. It was a stepping stone. A moment of growth. A reminder that greatness is not built overnight. Eala had entered the tournament as a wild card, ranked 35th in the world. She had walked onto the grass of Berlin with nothing to lose and everything to prove. And she had proven it. She had beaten 3 top 20 players in 4 days, 2 of them top 10. She had reached the semifinals of a WTA 500 event for the first time in her career. She had become the first Filipino to achieve such a feat, but more than the victories, it was the way Eala carried herself that revealed the heart of a champion. After beating Svitolina, she had spoken with remarkable humility. "I've been watching her since I was a kid," she said. "So to be able to compete with her today, it's such an honor." After the loss to Noskova, there were no excuses. No complaints about the rain delay. No blaming the tape on her arm. Just acknowledgement that she had been beaten by a better player on the day. "I think I'm getting better," she had said earlier in the week. "I hope I'm getting better, of course." Being exposed to this kind of level more often really pushes you to your limits and forces you to showcase what you've got. Those words proved prophetic. Eala had been pushed to her limits. She had showcased what she had. And she had proven that she belonged among the best in the world. The loss to Noskova was not the end of Eala's story. It was the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter in which she would no longer be the underdog. A chapter in which she would be the one that other players feared. A chapter in which she would be expected to win. The tennis world had witnessed the emergence of a superstar. And the superstar was just getting started. The Berlin Open was over. But Alexandra Eala's journey was just beginning. The grass season continues. Eala heads to the Bad Homburg Open, where she is scheduled to meet multiple Grand Slam doubles champion Elise Mertens in the opening round. It is another opportunity. Another chance to prove herself. Another step on the journey to greatness. And beyond Bad Homburg lies Wimbledon. The Grand Slam that has eluded her. The tournament that could define her career. The seeding cutoff is June 22nd, and Eala's semifinal run in Berlin has given her a crucial boost. She has strengthened her case for a seeded berth at Wimbledon, which begins June 29th. A seed at Wimbledon would give Eala a protected placement in the draw, avoiding the top seeds until at least the third round. It would be a transformative moment in her career. A moment that would announce to the world that Alexandra Eala had arrived, but regardless of what happens at Wimbledon, Eala has already achieved something extraordinary. She has beaten the world number 2. She has beaten the world number 8. She has reached the semifinals of a WTA 500 event. She has climbed into the top 30 of the world rankings. She has become a symbol of hope for the Philippines, a country of 110 million people that has never had a tennis star before, and she has done it all with grace, humility, and an unshakable belief in herself. The loss to Noskova was not a failure. It was a stepping stone. A reminder that greatness is not built in a single tournament. A reminder that even the most magical runs must come to an end. A reminder that the journey is just as important as the destination. The tennis world has witnessed the emergence of a superstar. And the superstar is just getting started. Eala can't line Adkana high etc. And that, my friends, is how a 21-year-old from Quezon City walked onto the grass of Berlin and showed the world what she was made of. She lost the semifinal. Yes. She fell short of the final. Yes. But in doing so, she proved something far more important. She proved that she belongs. She proved that she can compete with the best. She proved that this is just the beginning. The dream may have ended in Berlin. But a new dream is just beginning. This is the rise of Alexandra Eala. This is history in the making. And trust me, this is only the beginning.